It's been a while since I made an Everything is Sexist video, but let's see if I can still remember how to righteously piss off my audience with gender injustices of the highest order. Let the demonetization process begin! No. I don't think I speak for just myself when I say that. I get a little bit pissy when people don't give me the due recognition that I deserve for my hard efforts and work. Am I right? This is something a little bit more universal. I think we can agree. I'm sure there are Asians out there who are bitter that their hard work and efforts are shunned at the college level because they're the wrong race for the admission quotas that need to be filled in favor of less represented demographics. And then there are, of course, the white cis male CEOs out there who are just bitter at the prospect that their entire life achievements are more often than not chalked up to being given to them by the grace of those arbitrary identities that I defined earlier. But none of these crimes against meritocracy hold a candle to the life of the American rap artist.
I took myself out the fucking strip club. I did, my nigga.
Meet Cardi B, an American rap artist. And she's got something to say to you people.
I built my followers up, and I'm building my own fucking music career. Nobody's fucking helping me. So a bitch to motherfucking say that I don't deserve to be a fucking artist because shit was handed to me and I haven't put in no work, you're fucking bugging. Because I'm 24 years old and I look washed up because I spent hours in the motherfucking studio.
Alright, kudos where kudos is due, my dudes. How dare you not give Cardi B ownership over her self-made career and her image. Am I right? She owns all of this business. It's all Cardi B, all day, every day, right?
I paid over $50,000 in studio time because you gotta pay good engineers, you gotta go to a good studio, and you gotta put in that bread. I did it with my money. So for a bitch to say that I don't motherfucking deserve it because I don't put in no fucking work, now that's when I feel like niggas is bugging.
You know, Cardi, I couldn't agree more, and I'm glad you're taking ownership of the hard path that you've had to tread to get to this point in your life. Proud of you. Stunning and brave. To be certain.
Cause I did it myself. Niggas must have forgot, my nigga, the shit that I did to motherfucking survive, like.
Cardi, you tell the people in the back what exactly you did to make it to where you are. So they know exactly what you did to make it where you are. Cause it's important. For the narrative that I'm building. But I digress. What did you have to do to just survive, Cardi? What specifically was it to prosper, to become the woman that you are today?
I had to go strip. I had to go, oh yeah, you wanna fuck me? Yeah, let's go to this hotel. And I drug niggas up and I robbed them.
Wait,
that's what I used to do. And I drug niggas up and I robbed them. That's what I used to do.
Cardi, no.
Nothing was motherfucking handed to me, my nigga. Nothing.
Nothing was handed to you simply because you just went ahead and grabbed it for yourself. After drugging people. To survive. That's the thing that happened. That you said happened. Wookie.
So for a bitch to motherfucking say that I don't deserve shit, that's when I know that they fucking bugging. Because they do not fucking know the shit that I had to do so niggas could take me out. Because nobody wanted to help me.
You see, Cardi, when you drug up gentlemen and then rob them blind, it surprises us very little that no one feels the overwhelming burning desire to help you out. In any sense. Sorry. When you help yourself to other people's possessions, people become less inclined to help you out. That's how this works. Alright, hang on. Before we continue on with this lovely video that I am concocting for you, audience, I'm gonna drop some sick beats. Are you ready? This is 10% luck, 20% skill, 15% concentrated rohypnol, 5% pleasure, 50% pain, and 100% career that's been illegally obtained. Can I get a what? Yeah, I should become a SoundCloud rapper. Changing careers. Alright, that's what the direction this channel is going in now. Carry on.
Nobody wanted to fucking help me, my nigga. Nobody wanted to help me put me on Love and Hip Hop. Niggas wanted me to be stuck in the strip club.
Oh, boo fucking who? Cry me a river, why don't you? That is the way that the cookie crumbles, as it were, and it sucks. Yes, that life is hard for some people. Harder than it is for other people. Or maybe not so hard for some people. I don't give a fuck. It is what it is. It sucks, but it doesn't give you license to commit crimes against your fellow man. Not in a civilized society. No. I'm sorry. Post-colonialist. We have to use different verbiage. Not in a first world country where we have laws and stipulations against that kind of thing. And safety nets. Social safety nets. Barriers that prevent people from actually going to that point in their life without dramatically fucking up first.
Like, for me to hear the people in the industry is actually saying that I don't deserve it because I didn't put in as much work as they did.
Listen, guys, I'm not under the delusion that the life of the American rap artist is free of all manner of criminal activity. I wasn't born yesterday. I was born next week. I'm not. They peddle it in everything from their songs to their autobiographies to their interviews and all manner of other things. However, to use this as a talking point for how it was that you got yourself to where you are in your career and to make it part of the hard work and effort mantra that everyone at some point probably makes in their life is a tad bit messed up, I'm not gonna lie. I don't care who you are or what gender you are. There is no amount of fame, fortune, or need to survive quote that can justify drugging and robbing people in a first world country. Or a third world country, honestly. To be quite frank, there is no reason to cheat someone else to get ahead. Especially not in this country, not when we have social safety nets up the wazoo, not when every McDonald's will hire anyone off the street, not when they literally have government initiatives and write-offs for companies with the intent that they help criminals find jobs after their incarceration. I'm sorry, no. Not when we have things like that available to us. So now you get the gist of the video and why it is that I'm so peeved. If you missed it, it is because this American rap artist, who was a stripper at one point, used to, during her stripping days, drug and rob men blind in an effort to make her way up to the top. Now, on its own, drugging and taking advantage of said intoxicated individual that you've become the responsible party for being intoxicated is no big deal, obviously. Of course, not. Unless you're, say, Bill Cosby, or R. Kelly, or Roman Polanski, or take your pick of whatever celebrity that's taken advantage of people under their power in any such way. Then it's a big deal. Even prior to the Me Too movement, it was a big deal. With Cosby being found guilty of 3 counts of aggravated indecent assault, sentenced to 3 to 10 years in a state penitentiary? Yeah. And Kelly, charged with 10 counts of aggravated criminal sexual abuse? Come on, people. And then there's Polanski, who is an international fugitive for his crimes. But Weebo, you say, because you haven't got a clue. We live in a patriarchal rape culture. Don't we, lads? So I'm seeing on social media that an Instagram live I did 3 years ago has popped back up. A live where I talked about things I had to do in my past, right or wrong, that I felt I needed to do to make a living. I never claimed to be perfect or come from a perfect world with a perfect past. I always speak my truth. I always own my shit. Interesting, that. She owns her shit, yet this Instagram post that everyone is linking to is nowhere to be found on Instagram. Also, it should be noted that if you always own your shit, you likely would have served time for the crimes that you committed against certain men to get to where you are, but guys, Cardi B pays her dues, obviously. Don't you know that? There are rappers that glorify murder, violence, drugs, and robbing. Crimes they feel they had to do to survive. I never glorified the things I brought up in that live. I never even put those things in my music because I'm not proud of it, and I feel responsibility not to glorify it. Frankly, I don't care what other rappers do differently. I don't. They can get prosecuted for their illicit activities too, for all I care. Victimizing other people, however, to get a leg up is exactly the type of behavior that people are accused of every day, simply because they have the wrong arbitrary identity. Alright, that's straight, that's cis, that's white, that's male, that's Asians, that's Jews, that's all of them. Just a whole demographic of certain individuals that are bullshitted about by other people because they're butthurt that they're not in the same place as that other person. And then we have people who are like millionaires that get blamed for the fact that they don't dish out their money all willy-nilly to the public because they have it, so they should be able to contribute more to society. So obviously the fact that they're not doing that means that they are evil and keeping everyone else down. I'm sick of it. It's bullshit. But I digress. I don't care that you didn't glorify it in your music, Cardi, because it doesn't matter. What you did do with it is you used it to pad the clout you have in the industry all those years ago to make you seem like a more legit artist in the industry. What does it say about you and your industry that, whether in song form or in a live video, that's the kind of thing that gives you personal credibility in your industry? Jeez, guys, I'm sorry, but that's messed up. Quote, I made the choices that I did at the time because I had very limited options. I was blessed to have been able to rise from that, but so many women have not. Whether or not they were poor choices at the time, I did what I had to do to survive. Making this a woman's issue? I'm sure the amount of women that find themselves in a stripping position and then find themselves subsequently in a stripper bandit position to get by is very small compared to the overarching women's issues that we're facing today in society. Can we go back to pockets, please? Can I just say, no, you didn't do it for survival. You did it for a career in the rap industry. You said yourself that's how you paid for your studio time. You could have waitressed. You could have bartended. Twitch thoughting is a thing. It's a thing. And it involves more clothes and more money. Ask Brittany Venti. I have a past that I can't change. We all do. All I can do now is be a better me for myself, my family, and my future. Can I get a what is non-apology for 400, please? This is about as lackluster an apology as Kevin Spacey's I assaulted someone and now I choose to live as a gay man. Don't give me that. But that's not all. Because the article that I grabbed this excerpt from the Instagram post, it doesn't include this little snippet. Man, I wish I could actually find the original post. I've been looking. It either doesn't exist or it's buried somewhere on the Twitter sphere. I don't even know. But I digress. Quote, I made the choices that I made at the time because I had very limited options. I was blessed to have been able to rise from that, but so many women have not. That's all fine and dandy, alright? That point is fine. Whatever. But this is the best part, guys. The men I spoke about in my life were men that I dated, that I was involved with. Men that were conscious and willing and aware. Slapbacks to doubt, ladies and gentlemen. Conscious and willing and aware. Conscious, willing, and aware, but on drugs and being robbed. Lads, imagine trying to make that a thing, a legit thing. But that's not everything. That's far from everything, because we're about to get into the really pissy part of this. And that is, this week in blatant victim blaming. This guy, or guys, whoever here they were, who willingly, consciously, and were well aware that they were being drugged and robbed by Cardi B, have been being dragged on the interwebs. Twitter, more specifically. Not, like, an excessive amount, but it's been enough for me to be like, alright, that's not cool. So, we're gonna take a look. Oh, look at the men on my timeline getting upset because Twitter feminists are not reprimanding Cardi B. Why does it hurt, though? Isn't that what you guys were Isn't that what you guys do when a female is the victim? Have you asked the guys what they were doing at the strip club? Hashtag surviving Cardi B. You know, I'm not a guy, but I still feel I'm qualified to answer this question. I believe that the men were going to the strip club to watch women do the job that they get paid for, which is stripping. That's the idea. You dum-dum. And here's another thought. Why suddenly is sex work part of this victim narrative that we're trying to purport? Like it's a last resort. Something so shameful that you'd rather commit an actual crime like drugging and robbing people than, say, strip for money. Get over yourself. It's a personal choice that Cardi B made, so why is she now the victim? Oh, because she had no other choice. She did. McDonald's is always a choice. Pizza delivery is also a choice. There are always choices, ladies and gentlemen. Alright? Cardi B is different from Cosby because she was a victim of prostitution, turning the table against her aggressor. Cosby was the victimizer. She was a stripper. Stripping is not prostitution. And it's definitely not prostitution if the gentleman is being drugged and robbed and never even without so much as a handy in return for his troubles. That's called grifting, ladies and gentlemen, as in she used sex as the starting point for her con, where she would swindle men out of their hard-earned earnings. But she's the victim. Being the victim is more humiliating than taking charge, so the men who intended to rape and use Cardi B like she was a sex slave without good intentions and honor, go fuck yourselves either way. They probably intend to drug her up or get her drunk to use her, as many do. Hashtag music. Imagine being this deluded. It's okay, she drugged them before that they could drug her, so it's fine. Anyone that doesn't get that Cardi B was the victim, since she was being used by exploitive men purchasing sex from a vulnerable human being like she was a commodity, is gross. Play with fire, get burnt, dudes. You want women to play Barbie for you? Then man the fuck up. Let me add my 87.6-foot schlong onto this heaping pile of fuck the fuck right off with this nonsense, and say, no. Bad. Cease. Honestly, it should speak for itself. At this point, I'm just deluding myself into thinking that people actually give a fuck. No, so far as has been reported, it's been stated that only one person has come forward as a victim of Cardi B. However, it has also been reported that at this time, this has been a joke. So I don't really know what to tell you guys. I couldn't say either way. Finding shit out for this story has been a hot mess anyway. Oh boy. This is what happens when you guys don't archive things for me. You make my life difficult. The life of a YouTuber is hard. I'll just leave it at that. The idea that I do want to get across is relevant regardless of if there's a victim or not that comes forward. If we wish to live in a post-Me Too society, where we hold predators to account for their actions and we don't shame victims, then I suggest that you get on board, because that boat is about to leave the harbor on Cardi B, ladies and gentlemen. That goes for men, that goes for women, and don't you dare start splitting hairs on it because you want one to be more oppressed than the other. No amount of struggle survival nonsense gives you any right at all to be a douchebag to other humans. Sorry. I don't make the rules. And can we cancel victimhood culture, please, while we're canceling things? It's getting exhausting being told that I have to be affected by all of this nonsense that I don't give a shit about. Right? Cool. I'll end on this last note. Some people think that what you do matters more than why you do things. But folks, I'm here to tell you, they both matter equally. If you like what I'm doing here, feel free to check out the links in the description to my Amazon, Subscribestar, Patreon, PayPal, and the link to my Redbubble store where you can find unique exclusive Weebo merchandise. My P.O. box can also be found below if you'd like to send me stuff in the mail. Please consider leaving a like, a comment, sharing the video, and subscribing to the bell for more. If you want to see more of me in a different capacity, I have a second channel called Weebo Incognito, dedicated to ripping apart all things entertainment. I do a LARPy comedy stream show called Side Quest over on Magog of Morscar's livestream channel, and Stop back here every Sunday, 7:30 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for 2 Girls, 1 Stream. Also subscribe to SDA's channel so you don't miss the Wednesday show, same time. Links to all that jazz down in the description down below.